The significance of flour in the production of bread is really important. You need a strong flour. With a strong flour, you're getting a higher level of gluten, 12 to 14%. That's going to allow the dough to become more elasticated, and it's going to give a stronger structure to hold those air bubbles in during the kneading and the developing of the gluten in the mixing of the flour. The other way flour is really significant is when you're using a different flour, say a wholemeal or a rye, as opposed to a strong white flour, you're going to need different quantities of water. Different flours are going to hold different amounts of water. So if you're using a semolina or a rice flour, you're going to need very little water. But if you're using a rye, especially if it's completely rye, you're going to need a lot more water because of the absorption amount that those flours can handle. So always make sure to adjust as required depending on which flours you're using. So the way gluten works in flour and bread, it helps to bind the glutenin and the gliadin proteins with water when the dough is being mixed and kneaded, and that creates an elasticated gluten network within the dough. That gluten network is key because without that elasticity and strength, you're not going to allow the air bubbles from the yeast to form and to hold and to maintain. You're going to end up with a tight texture as opposed to a more light and airy internal texture. When that dough can be stretched out, so you've got a nice translucent look when you're stretching that dough out, it's normally a good sign your network is developed properly. When you're shaping the dough, it's also really important to develop tension. The top of the dough should be really tense. By shaping inside and by developing a knot in the bottom, you're building tension on the top. That's going to help the bread to hold a uniform shape. If you don't build that tension, the bread's going to sit out sideways and you're going to lose a lot of your height. So it's really important to develop tension in your dough.